Hey Clashers, sneak peek number 2 for the Town Hall 15 update, and we have 2 new key defenses for Town Hall 15 coming. And let's say it this way, the king does not approve, because those defenses are hammering away those heroes. The time of heroes might be over? Well, we're going to find out, because those new defenses are incredible. We have 2 new spell towers and a new defense called Monolith. This new defense is incredible, because let's take a look at it. It's costing quite a lot, okay? It's the first defense, the first building I think overall, which costs Dark Elixir, but it is worth it, because this new defense is now a huge tank killer. The base damage line is already quite impressive. It has 2 levels. On the level 1, it's dealing 150 damage per second, plus 14% of the max amount of HP of the attacking, of the troop which it is attacking. On level 2, that is even increased. It is on level 2, 200 DPS per second on the baseline, and then in addition 15% of the max amount of HP of that attacking troop. Trust me, a king does not like this. The same with the golem, with the electro dragon, with a lot of tanky troops which are in the game to make your life easier. Not anymore. Let's take a look at a couple of interactions. The first thing is the queen. Yes, the queen is not having the most hit points, but why am I showing this? Because the queen has another opponent which can kill her through the ability, so you need to be careful. Another interaction is a tanky troop like the electro dragon. He's only getting 1 shot off. Only 1. That is insane. That is the new level of the electro dragon already. It's crazy. I have talked yesterday about the new level for the witch, and that means for the super witch as well. I was afraid not anymore, because take a look at this interaction. The monolith is just like beaming this witch onto another planet, because this witch are it's just getting taken care of like nothing. It's crazy. So you can see already there's a lot of crazy stuff coming, but the monolith is just one defense. The other one is the spell tower. You have now spells on defense, something which we were asking for a long time. You have 3 different options. On level 1, you have the rage. On level 2, you are going to unlock the poison. On level 3, the invisibility spell. You can see already every single spell takes different amount of time to recycle, which means as soon as the spell is going to drop, it's going to reload again. So it can like drop a rage, and then after a certain amount of time, you can drop another rage. We are going to take a look in just a second on how the mechanic works, because it is not an easy defense. Trust me, using spells on defense is not easy, and I will try to explain it as easy as possible. But for the first thing you have to understand, 3 different spell options, and every single level is going to unlock a new spell. Remember though, they're not getting increased in power. You can just choose in between of different spells. So the rage will never get better if you're upgrading the defense. Important. Let's now take a look. First things first, Earthquake does not trigger the rage, the poison, or the invisibility spell. That's important. The next thing is, if you want to make sure that the spell tower is triggering, the troops have to stay alive inside the range for 1.2 seconds. That's an important time you have to remember, because this is a key time for all of those spell towers. The next thing is, invisible troops do not trigger it, okay? So if you turn a troop invisible, it does not trigger it, but as soon as they're getting visible again and staying alive for 1.2 seconds, the spell tower is going to trigger. That's another basic thing for the rage and poison tower, okay? The next thing, you can see it again, if we turn the queen invisible, we can take down the spell tower. But remember, just to make sure that the spell tower does not feel like useless, there's the mechanic in the game that if there's a spell loaded, you can always see that there's the spell bottle at the top of the tower, and if it's not there, this means there's no spell in there. But if there's a spell at the top, you can make sure that, well, with taking down the tower, it's still going to deploy that spell. The next thing is, you can as well freeze the spell tower. Then the spell is only going to drop if you take down the spell tower, okay? Those were the basics. Let's dive into the rage tower. As soon as a troop is inside the big range, like the big radius, okay? The wide big radius, for 1.2 seconds, the inner radius is getting raged up. That's how the rage tower works. You can see it perfectly over here. The king running into the outer range, triggering the rage overall, and this means that's how the rage works. It's not that crazy, okay? We're getting there. The poison is the next one, and the next one is as soon as something is in the big range, the poison tower is going to shoot a poison at the first target, which was in range for 1.2 seconds, okay? You can see it right here. The range, the range of that poison is quite massive. And at this point, it is getting, how do we say this? Really tricky for Queen Charge players. Because let's have a setup, okay? We're placing the healers as far away as possible. We're using the Queen. The spell tower is shooting the poison. And this is already good for the Queen, okay? I think good base builders will make incredible traps with those poison towers. But you can see now already only one step for the Queen, and the healers are already in range of the poison. And now combine 1 and 2, because yesterday we have gotten new red mine level. What does this mean? Red mines for the healers, and you will see Queen Charge players will suffer. And unfortunately, that's me as well. Well, okay, I might have to find a new strategy, but let's get to the poison tower, why it's so powerful. Because there is more uses than just slowing down troops. It can counter blizzard, blimps, and everything so nicely as well. Because, yes, the super wizards are invisible. At the same time, though, the blimp is not. Siege machines do count as troop for the spell towers. The siege machine was inside the radius of the poison tower for 1.2 seconds, so the poison got shot at the blimp, and this means the wizards are suffering as well. So a really strong tower. But if you're thinking this was already the strongest, well, the invisibility spell is at least up there as well. The invisibility spell is incredibly powerful, because how it works, as soon anything in range of that invisibility tower is getting damaged, and the troop which is dealing the damage is staying alive for 1.2 seconds, well, everything is getting turned invisible around it. And this now is giving us, as base builders, some great fun, some amazing fun, because there's a couple of buildings in the base which you would like to turn invisible to really make the attackers suffer. And I'm saying this like this is something good, but I mean, as a base build, it's fun, okay? So let's turn those two spell towers to invisibility towers. And this already is something evil. I mean, ring bases are already made from pure evil, because they are incredibly annoying to attack. But with 2 invisibility towers, that's really, really nasty. But before I will show you how powerful this is, because I know otherwise people will freak out, I will show you there's counters, okay? Don't worry. It's not impossible 3-star. There's counters. There's counters in this Town Hall 15 update. And you can see it right there. Everything is getting turned invisible, which is incredible hard for any Queen Charge attack. But for a Blizzard Blimp, you can overcome it, okay? You will need more invisibility spells on offense to turn your super wizards non-stop invisible. But you will still be able to make it, and you will get some great value. At the same time, though, and now we're getting to the message where I want to get, if we change those towers now to poison and do the exact same blimp, okay? We're doing the exact same blimp. We're not... Well, let's just take a look at that. But the message of this is that Town Hall 15 is going to become incredible hard. Trust me, Town Hall 15 is not going to be an easy Town Hall. My guess, the hit rate will drop quite a lot. But if you want to see how there's new counters and everything for the new spell towers, you have an easy choice. You can just follow my channel here and you will find all of those amazing strategies you need to get some nice 3-stars. But I want to show you guys a couple of more examples, okay? All of those examples is to make sure that offense looks a little better than it is, are without a defending clan cast, okay? Otherwise this would look even more crazy. But let's be crazy, okay? We have seen a lot of buffs to hybrid. A new mine level, a new healer, healing, sorry, not a new healing level. So a lot of things are getting buffed for Queen Charge hybrid. But at the same time, it's Queen Charge, and Queen Charge is suffering. Not only the Monolith is going to deny a lot of charges, because this defense is insane, but as well, the spell towers are making some of those bases nearly impossible to 3-star for hybrid or Queen Charges in general. And I think that is a good thing. Why do I say this? I know people will now freak out and say, iTzu, I'm a casual, I'm not a professional. I want to 3-star it as well. And I get that, fully, 100%. But now the question to all of those who are saying this out there as well is, what do you prefer? And remember, in a strategy game, what do you prefer in a strategy game? That it's easy and you can pretty much force your strategy on any base, or that you have to actually use your brain and think about what strategy you should pick. You don't have to like execute that strategy on a perfect level, but choosing the strategy wise. I think that is the key thing to say. Well, we have just seen Town Hall going down through the invisibility towers because, I mean, let's just say it how it is. I was already practicing this a little bit, and if you rage the hybrid, you have the chance for 2 stars. Otherwise, this would have been a 1 star. So, everything I want to say is the invisibility towers are insanely annoying for queen charges. But at the same time, as I said, I will show you counters. I will show you counters, for example, Electro Dragons versus this type of base. And now the surprising thing, the lock launcher. The lock launcher in this one is getting used that we can trigger the invisibility towers. Because remember, how do they trigger? As soon as something in range of the spell tower is taking damage from a tube which is staying alive longer than 1.2 seconds, it is going to cast the spell. And the lock launcher does count as troop. It does not need to be in the radius, it just needs to hit something in the radius of the spell tower, of the invisibility tower. That's important. And by the time where the Electro Dragons reach the core, all of the spell towers have shot already their invisibility, which means they're not having anything in store anymore because it takes them like 50 seconds or something to like generate a new spell. And with that, this base is just gone. So you can see already there is counterplay, and this is what I love about Channel 15. This, in my opinion, is the best update Supercell had done for me personally, in like, because I'm somewhat of a competitive player still. In my opinion, since the Clan War League. This is the last update which I guess I have enjoyed close to how much I enjoyed this update. It is just incredible. But now the question though is, what is the counter to Electro Dragons? Well, if you're really evil and hate all of the players who are using air spam out there, use 2 poison towers and you will make them cry, maybe, who knows? Because I think it is nearly impossible to 3-star a double poison tower setup with air spam. It doesn't matter if it's Hydra, it doesn't matter if it's Electro Dragons. Take a look at this base, for example. We have 2 poison towers, and after 40% of this base, all of the Electro Dragons are dead. And remember, this is without a defending clan castle. This is without a defending clan castle. So, you see already where I'm coming from. Queen charges, way harder. Air spam, way harder. People have to figure out new stuff, and this is why I love it so much. It does feel like a completely new town level. It does feel like a completely new meta. The old meta strategies like Lalo, or I guess just Lalo mainly for the pro scene, had no new level, and this is what I freaking love about this update. But as well, what do you think? But now do not forget, there's 3 options, okay? There's 3 options for the spell towers. There's one more with the rage tower. But I want to be as clear as possible. I think if the invisibility and poison tower is up here, the rage tower is, I mean, somewhere down there. So the rage tower, unfortunately right now, is not even close to how powerful the poison and invisibility tower feels. And I think especially the invisibility tower is going to get used a ton, because it is going to make attackers suffer who are not that great at the game. So again, as I said, if you want to see nice counterplays like the lock launcher trick, for example, and that's just one of the things you can do against those bases, well, then you should for sure follow this channel, because I will give you a ton of different guides, tips and tricks and everything on how to counter it, but as well how to abuse that as well. Well, you can see another queen charge. Should I say queen charge, because this queen is not looking good. I mean, this queen is suffering quite a bit, and that's just with the rage towers. Oof. I mean, as I said, queen charges are going to have a rough time. I think it's great. Queen charges have been strong for so long, so I think it's a good time that we have a shift, and we have to find new stuff again. We have to figure the game out again on a fresh base, which I love, but maybe that's just me. Let me know, how do you feel about the new defenses? The Monolith, which is insane hero and tank killer. The new spell towers, which are incredible, just to increase the damage of your base with the rage, just increase the options on defense to defend spam with your poison tower, and just increase the chances of getting 1-stars with the invisibility tower. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about all of those new cool features, and I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next sneak peek. Until then, see ya, and bye-bye.